hope and healing over me. Every wound you'll mend, every chain you'll break. In your embrace, my heart awakes. Your love is like a river flowing free, bringing hope and healing over me. Every wound you'll mend, every chain you'll break. In your embrace, my heart awakes. So I'll trust in you, my heart will sing. With every breath, to you I cling. Father, YaHuAH, forever near. Heal me, YaHuAH, I know you're here. Lift your head high, YaHuAH has won for me. Lift your head high, we have victory. Lift your head high, YaHuAH has won for me. We will YaHuAH, we will dance. Ocho YaHuAH today. Okay, YaHuAH galaya mi. Kusanito.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom to friends and family. Shalom to everybody that have the privilege to join us today on the Righteousness Radio. Yes, I'm using this moment to say shalom to everybody. Shalom to everybody. Hope you are all doing fine. If you are doing fine, give all praise to the Most High YaHuAH. Yes, because you have to give praise to the Most High YaHuAH firstly. That is what we are going to do first on the Righteousness Radio. You know, anytime you hear shalom on the Righteousness Radio, you have to give praise to the Most High YaHuAH. That is the first thing you have to do. That is the first thing. Because giving praise to the Most High YaHuAH shows that what you are saying things that I have another privilege to listen to another day, another chapter, another program on the Righteousness Radio. Yes, that means him. You appreciate him. Because if not his privilege, me and you, we are not going to be here today. But all prayers to the Most High YaHuAH, Yada YaHuAH.
I am the Judas kiss that betrayed you in the Garden of Gethsemane. I am the 30 pieces of silver that paid for that treachery. I am the heavy blood-stained beam you carried on the Via Dolorosa. I am the nails driven into your hands and feet on Golgotha. When you hung upon that tree, I know you looked down and you saw me, willingly giving your life as a sacrifice. You paid the price. Yes,
When we are telling you that you have to give praise, listen to this music and know that is your right, is my right, is by force. We have to appreciate him, because for someone to use his own life as a sacrifice for me and you, can't you see how powerful it is? Yes, someone used his own life to sacrifice for us, for you and me, and we don't even appreciate him. Can't you see? You and I don't even appreciate him. Is that good? That is why we have to give praise to the Most High YaHuAH through his son name, YaHuAH. I'm using this to say shalom to everybody, and I'm saying welcome to the Righteousness Radio right now. Welcome to the Righteousness Radio, and we are live as well on YaHuAH is the Righteousness
to
TV.
your side to show that you were dead. When you hung upon that tree, I know you looked down and you saw me, willingly giving your life as a sacrifice. You paid my ransom price. Yes, as you took my place upon that tree, I know you looked down through history and you saw me. You saw me. I know that I am the reason why you had to die. When you hung upon that tree, I know you looked down and you saw me, willingly giving your life as a sacrifice. You paid my ransom price. Yes, as you took my place upon that tree, I know you looked down through history and you.
What you have to do right now is that you have to start sharing this program to your friends, to your family, to everybody. Let everyone know that something is about to happen on the Righteousness Radio. You have to start sharing, because our guest is here today on the Righteousness Radio. And you know today's program is in two parts. The first part is what? The first part is the part where our sister is going to read, and the second part is the summarization. That is the after the reading, and you have to stay still to the first part and the second part, because if you don't understand the reading, how do you want to understand what we want to talk about? What we want to talk about, how do you want to understand it? But you have to stay, you have to stand, you understand? You have to listen to the both two parts. You have to listen, because we are going to the continuation from the book of Ezra chapter 6. The book of Ezra chapter 6. Yes, we are starting right now from the book of Ezra chapter 6, and I want you to share, call your family, call everybody.
Our hearts will glow. The world may falter, the darkness fight, but the enemy losing his name. We find the light. YaHuAH's word is our firm decree. The chains are broken, we're walking free. Hallelujah, we proclaim. YaHuAH's name, our hearts will glow. The world may falter, the darkness fight, but the enemy losing his name, no more denied. The enemy falls, his lies exposed. In YaHuAH's name, our hearts will glow. Set apart, we stand as one. In YaHuAH's name, his will be done. No more fear, the victory's won. The kingdom rises and shines forever, forever. YaHuAH reigns. Most high, truth revealed, no more denied. The enemy falls, his lies exposed. In YaHuAH's name, our hearts will glow. Hallelujah, YaHuAH, the highest name, forever set apart, forever saved. YaHuAH reigns, let all proclaim. The King of esteem, forever reign. Hallelujah, YaHuAH, the highest name, forever set apart, forever the same. YaHuAH reigns, let all proclaim. The King of esteem, forever reign.
Bring your best offering, new wine, oil, and grain. The day of the
Yes, our sister is here with us on the Righteousness Radio. I'm telling you, you just have to get ready. Not just to get ready, but to get yourself and your soul ready. Get ready right now. You have to get yourself ready fully. Not just to be a listener, but to be the doer of the word of the Most High YaHuAH. Not just to be a listener, but to be what? A doer of the word of YaHuAH. And as I said to you, this program is a two-part. The first part is the part of the reading, and the second part is the summarization. We are going to talk about what we read from the book of Ezra, chapter 6 to anywhere that we are going to stop today. And don't worry. Shalom, sister.
Shalom, shalom.
How are you doing, sister?
I'm doing well.
Oh, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH. Yes, family, before our sister introduce herself to us on the Righteousness Radio, I want you to start what? Sharing, calling people. Let everyone know that something is about to happen on the Righteousness Radio. Right now, something is about to happen on the Righteousness Radio. And that is why we are here. This program is a two-part. First part, reading, and the second part, that is where we are going to talk about what we read today. And please, and please, and please, don't miss this two part. It's very important. It's very, very, very important. Don't miss these two parts. Don't miss it. Are you there, sister?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I want you to introduce yourself to the Righteousness Radio and where you from, and introduce yourself fully before we start the program.
Yes, I can. Okay. Here it is. Shalom, dear Mishpaka all over the Eretz, the world. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sister YaHuAH, and I live in the United States. I'm a part of the Yahusha is the Savior Assembly, Love of YaHuAH. And as an assembly, we are on the Righteousness Radio to proclaim the Debar, the word of YaHuAH and his Torah, and the Sham of Yahusha HaMashiach, his Ban, his son, to the four corners of the earth. For the upcoming weeks, we will be reading the book of Yechezkel, the book of Daniel, and the book of Gala, or Revelation. and this is our end time series of prophecy. To all of our listeners out there, I'm so happy you can join us today and every Sunday at the same time to read scripture together. Yada Yahuwah.
Yada YaHuAH, Yada YaHuAH, all praise to the Most High YaHuAH, Yada YaHuAH. Yes, family, that is it. You can join us here every Sunday, this time, every Sunday on the Righteousness Radio. Yes, sister, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, if you are ready, just start. The time is yours right now.
Okay. So this is the book of Ezra, Nehemiah. This is chapter 6. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house, in the bait of the rolls, where the treasures were laid up in Babel. And there was found at Achmeta, in the palace that is in the province of the Madai, a roll, and therein was a record thus written: In the first year of Koresh, the king, the same Koresh the king, made a decree concerning the house of Elohim at Jerusalem. Let the bait be built, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid. The height thereof 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 80 cubits, with 3 rows of great stones, and a row of new timber. And let the expenses be given out of the king's bait. And also let the golden and silver vessels of the house of the bait of Elohim, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple which is at Jerusalem, and brought unto Babel, be restored and brought again unto the temple which is at Jerusalem, everyone to his place, and place them in the bait of Elohim. Now therefore, Tadenai, governor beyond the river, Shethar, Banzai, and your companions, the Apharsecaim, which are beyond the river, be ye far from thence. Let the work of this bait of Elohim alone, let the governor of the Yahudim and the elders of the Yahudim build this bait of Elohim in his place. Moreover, I make a decree what ye shall do to the elders of these Yahudim for the building of this bait of Elohim, that of the king's goods, even of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expensive be given unto these men, that they be not hindered, and that which they have need of both young bullocks and rams and lambs for ascending smoke offerings, of the alaheka of Shemaim, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests, which are at Jerusalem, let it be given them yom by yom without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Elohim of Shemaim, and Palah for their high of the king and his bonds. Also I have made a decree that whosoever shall after this debar, let timber be pulled down from his bait, and being set up, let him be hanged thereon, and let his bait be made a dunghill for this. And the Elohim that has caused his Sham to dwell there destroy all kings and people that shall put to their hand to alter and to destroy this bait of Elohim, which is at Jerusalem. I, Darius, have made a decree. Let it be done with speed. Then Tatanai, governor of this side of the river, Shethar, Banzai, and their companions, according to that which Darius the king had sent, so they did speedily. And the elders of the Yahudim built, and they prospered. Through the prophesying of Shagai, the prophet, and Zachariah, the bond of Edo, and They built and finished it according to the commandment of the Elohim of YaHuAH, and according to the commandment of Koresh and Darius and Artaxshata, king of Persia. And this bait was finished on the 3rd yom of the month Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of Darius the king. And the Yamadim of YaHuAH, the priests and the Leviim, the rest of the Yamadim of the captivity, kept the dedication of this bait of Elohim with joy, and offered at the dedication of this bait of Elohim 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a transgression offering for all YaHuAH, 12 he-goats, according to the number of the tribes of YaHuAH. And they set the priests in their divisions, and the Leviim in their courses, for their service of Elohim, which is at Yerushalayim, as it is written in the Sefer of Moshe. And the Yamadim of the captivity kept the Pesach. They kept the Pesach upon the 14th yom of the 1st month. For the priests and the Leviim were purified together. All of them were pure, and killed the Pesach for all the Yamadim of captivity, and for their brethren, the priests, and for themselves. The Yamadim of YaHuAH were come again out of captivity, and all such had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land, to seek YaHuAH of YaHuAH did eat, and kept the feast of Matzah 7 yoms with joy. For YaHuAH had made them joyful, and turned their heart of the king of Ashur unto them, to strengthen the hands in the work of the bait of Elohim, the Alaheka of YaHuAH. Now after these things, in the reign of Artaxshasta, king of Persia, Ezra, the bond of Sarayahu, the bond of Azaryahu, and the bond of Shilikyahu, Kilikiyahu, okay, the bond of Shalom, the bond of Sadak, and the bond of Aktivub, and the bond of Amaryahu, and the bond of Azaryahu, the bond of Mariot, and the bond of Zerekiah, the bond of Uzziyahu, and the bond of Buki, the bond of Avishuha, and the bond of Pinechas, and the bond of Eleazar, and the bond of Aaron, Aharon, the chief priests. This Ezra went up from Babel, and he was a ready scribe in the Torah of Moshe, which YaHuAH of YaHuAH had given. And the king granted him all of his requests according to the hand of YaHuAH upon him. And there went up some of the Yamadim of YaHuAH, and of the priests, and the Leviim, and the singers, and the porters, and the Nathim unto Yerushalayim in the 7th year of Artaxshata, the king. And he came to Yerushalayim in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For upon the 1st yom, at the 1st month, he began to go up from Babel. And on the 1st yom of the 5th month, came he to Yerushalayim, according to the good hand of his Elohim upon him. For Ezra had prepared his heart, to seek the Torah of YaHuAH, and to do it, and to teach in YaSharah commandments and judgments. Now this is the copy of the Sefer that the king Artaxerxes gave unto Ezra the priest, the scribe, even a scribe of the Debar of the commandments of YaHuAH, and of his statutes of YaSharah. Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra the priest, a scribe of the Torah, of the Elohim of Shemaim, perfect shalom, at such a time I make a decree that all they of the people of YaSharah and all his priests and Leviim in my realm, which are minded of their own free will to go up to Jerusalem, go with you. For as much as you are sent of the king and of his 7 counselors to inquire concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem, according to the Torah of your Elohim, which is in your hand, and to carry the silver and gold, which the king and his counselors have freely offered unto the Elohim of Yasharah, whose habitation is in Jerusalem, and all the silver and gold that you can find in all the province of Babel, with the free will offering of the people and of the priests offering willingly for their bait of their Elohim, which is in Jerusalem, that you may buy speedily with this money bullocks, rams, lambs, with their oblations and their drink offerings, and offer them upon the altar of the bait of your Elohim, which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever shall seem good to you and to your brethren to do with the rest of the silver and the gold that do after the will of your Elohim, the vessels also that are given you for the service of the bait of your Elohim, those deliver you before the Elohim of Yasharah, of Jerusalem. And whatsoever more shall be needful for the bait of your Elohim, which you shall have occasion to bestow it out of the king's treasure. And I, even I, Artaxerxes, the king, do make a decree to all the treasures which are beyond the river, that whatsoever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the Torah of the Elohim of Shemaim, shall require of you, it be done speedily, unto 100 talents of silver, and to 100 measures of wheat, and to 100 baths of wine, and into 100 baths of oil, and salt without prescribing how much. Whatsoever is commanded by the Elohim of Shemaim, let it be diligently done for the baits of the Elohim of Shemaim. For why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his bonds? Also we certify you that touching any of the priests and Leviim, singers, porters, nethin, or ministers of the bait of Elohim, it shall not be lawful to impose toll, tribute, or custom upon them. And you, Ezra, after the chokmah of your Elohim that is in your hand, set magistrates and judges, which may judge all the people that are beyond the river, all such as know the Torah of your Elohim, and teach ye them that know them not. And whosoever will not do the Torah of your Elohim and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be unto death, or to banishment, or to confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment. Baruch be YaHuAH, for our fathers, which has put such a thing as this in the king's lap, to beautify the bait of YaHuAH, which is in Jerusalem, and has extended Hassan mercy unto me before the king and his counselors, and before all the king's mighty princes. And I was strengthened as the hand of YaHuAH was upon me. And I gathered together out of Yasharah chief men to go up with me. Ezra, book 8, chapter 8. And then I proclaimed a fast there at the river of Ahava, that we might afflict ourselves before our Elohim, to seek of him a right way for us and for our little ones, and for all our substance. For I was ashamed to require of the king a band of soldiers and horsemen to help us against the enemy in the way, because we had spoken unto the king, saying, the hand of our Elohim is upon all of them for good, for Turah, that seek him. But his power and his wrath is against all of them that forsake him. So we fasted and besought our Elohim for this, and he was entreated of us. Then I separated 12 of the chief of the priests, Shereviah, Kashaf YaHuAH, and 10 of their brethren with them, and weighed unto them the silver and the gold and the vessels, even the offering of the bait of our Elohim, which the king and his counselors and his governors and all YaHuAH there present had offered. I even weighed unto their hand 650 talents of silver, and silver vessels 100 talents, and of gold 100 talents, and 20 basins of gold, and of 1,000 drams, and 2 vessels of fine copper, precious as gold. And I said unto them, Ye are Kadesh unto YaHuAH, and vessels are Kadesh also. And the silver and the gold are a free will offering unto YaHuAH Alaheka of your fathers. Watch ye and guard them until ye weigh them before the chief of the priests and Leviim and the chief of the fathers of YaHuAH at Jerusalem in the chambers of the bait of YaHuAH. So took the priests and the Leviim the weight of the silver and the gold and the vessels to bring them to Jerusalem unto the bait of Elohim. Then we departed from the river of Ahava on the 12th yom of the first month to go unto Jerusalem, and the hand of our Elohim was upon us, and he delivered us from the hand of the enemy, and of such as lay in it, and lay in wait by the way. And we came to Jerusalem, and abode there 3 yoms. Now on the 4th yom was the silver and the gold, and the vessels weighed in the house of our Elohim by the hand of Mariot, and the bond of Uriyahu the priest, and with him was Azar, the bond of Pinechas, and with them was Yosavad, the bond of Husha, and No Adaya, the bond of Binui Levaim, by number and by weight of every one, and all the weight was written at that time. Also the Yamadim of those that had been carried away, which would come out of the captivity, offered ascending smoke offerings unto the Elohim of YaHuAH, 12 bullocks for all YaHuAH, 90 and 60 rams, 70 and 7 lambs, 12 he-goats for a transgression offering. All this was an ascending smoke offering unto YaHuAH. And they delivered the king's commissions unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors on this side, the river, and they furthered the people and the bait of Elohim. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of YaHuAH and the priests and the Leviim have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaim, the Kittim, the Perizim, the Yevusim, the Ammonim, the Moabim, Moabite, and the Mizraim, and the Amorim, Amorite, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their bonds, so that the Kadesh seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers has been chief in this transgression. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head, and and of my beard, and sat down astonished. Then there were assembled unto me everyone that trembled at the debar, at the word of the Elaheka of YaHuAH, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonished until the evening sacrifice. And at the evening sacrifice I arose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees and spread out my hands unto YaHuAH Elaheka, and said, O Elohim, I am ashamed and blush to lift up my face to you, my Elohim, for our iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespass is grown up unto the Shemaims. Since the yoms of our fathers, we have been in a great trespass unto this yom, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of face, as it is this yom. And now, for a little space, grace has been showed from YaHuAH Eloheinu, to leave us a remnant to escape, to give us a nail in his Kadesh place, that our Elohim may lighten our eyes, and give us a little reviving in our bondage. For we were bondmen, yet our Elohim has not forsaken us in our bondage, but has extended Hassan unto us in the sight of the kings of Persia, to give us reviving, to set up the bait of our Elohim, and to repair the desolations thereof, and to give us a wall in Yehuda and in Jerusalem. And now, O Elohim, what shall we say after this? For we have forsaken your commandments, which you have commanded by your servants, the prophets, saying, the land unto which ye go to possess it, it is an unclean land, with the filthiness of the people of the lands, with their abominations, which have filled it from one end to another, with their uncleanness. Now therefore give not your daughters unto their bonds, neither take their daughters unto your bonds, nor seek their shalom of their wealth, forever that ye may be strong, and eat the good of the land, and leave it for an inheritance to your Yamadim forever. And after all that is come upon us, for our evil deeds, and for our great trespass, seeing that you, our Elohim, have punished us less than our iniquities deserve, and have given us such deliverance as this, should we again break your commandments and join in affinity with the people of these abominations? Would not you be angry with us till you had consumed us, so that there should be no remnant nor escaping? O YaHuAH Elaheka of YaHuAH, you are righteous, for we remain yet escaped. As it is this yom, behold, we are before you in our trespasses, for we cannot stand before you because of this. Chapter 10. Now when Ezra had palawed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the bait of Elohim, there assembled unto him out of YaHuAH a very great assembly of men and women, and Yamadim, for the people wept very sore. And Shecaniah, the bond of Yechekiel, Yekiel, one of the bonds of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, we have transgressed against our Elohim, and have taken strange women of the people of the Haaretz. Yet now there is no hope in YaHuAH concerning this thing. Now therefore let us cut a covenant with our Elohim to put away all the women, and such are born of them according to the counsel of YaHuAH, and of those that tremble at the commandment of our Elohim, and let it be done according to the Torah. Arise, for this matter belongs unto you. We also will be with you. Be of good courage and do it. Then arose Ezra and made the chief priests, the Leviim, and all YaHuAH to swear 7 oaths that they would do according to this debar, and they swore. Then Ezra rose up from before the bait of Elohim and went into the chamber of YaHuAH, the ban of Eliashib. And when he came thither, he did eat no bread, nor drink water, for he mourned because of the transgression of them that had been carried away. And they made proclamation throughout Yehuda and Jerusalem, all the Yamadim of the captivity, that they should gather themselves together unto Jerusalem, and that whosoever would not come within 3 yoms, according to the counsel of the princes and the elders, and all his substance should be forfeited, and himself separated from the assembly of those that had been carried away. Then all the men of Yehuda and Benjamin gathered themselves together unto Jerusalem within 3 yoms. It was the 9th month, on the 12th yom of the month. And all the people sat in the street of the bait of Elohim, trembling because of this matter, and for the great rain. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed, and have taken strange women, to increase the trespass of YaHuAH. Now therefore make confession unto YaHuAH Elohim of your fathers, and do his pleasure, and separate yourselves from the people of the Haaretz, and from the strange women. When then all the assembly answered and said with a loud voice, As you have said, so must we do. But the people are many, and it is a time of much rain, and we are not able to stand without, neither is this a work of 1 yom or 2, for we are many that have transgressed in this thing. Let now our rulers of all the assembly stand, and let all of them which have taken strange women in our cities come at appointed times, and with them the elders of every city, and the judges thereof, until the fierce wrath of Elohim for this matter be turned from us. Only Jonathan, the bond of Ashael, Yecheziah, the bond of Tikva, were employed about this matter, and Meshullam and Shabbatai, the Leviim, helped them. The Yamadim of the captivity did so, and Ezra the priest, with certain chief of the fathers, after the bait of their fathers, and all of them by their shams, their names, were separated, and sat down in the 1st yom of the 10th month to examine the matter. And they made an end with all the men that had taken strange women by the 1st yom and the 1st month. And among the bonds of the priests there were found had taken strange women, namely of the bonds of Yahusha, the bond of YaHuSadak, and his brethren, Maaseyahu, and Eliezer, and Yariv, and Gadol Yahu. And they gave their hands that they would put away their women, and being guilty they offered a ram of the flock for their trespass. And the bonds of Emer, Kanani, and Zeved-Yahu, and the bonds of Karim, Masayahu, and Eliyahu, and Shemayahu, and Yikiel, and Uziyahu, and the bonds of Pashkur, Eliyahu, Ainai, Mesayahu, Yishmael, Netanel, Yozavad, and El-Asa. Also the Leviim, Yozavad, Shimi, Peth-Akyah, the same as Kelitah and Pethakiah and Yehuda and Eleazar. Of the singers also Eliashiv, and of the porters Shalom and Telem, and the Asherim. Moreover, of Yasharah, of the bonds of Parosh, Ramiah, Yiziyah, Malakyahu, and Miyamin, Elazar, Malakyahu, and Benayahu, and the bonds of Elam, Matanyahu, Zachariahu, Yikiel, Avidi, Yermimot, and Eliyahu, and the bonds of Zatu, Eliyahu, Enai, Eliashiv, Matanyahu, Yerimot, and Zavad, and Azizar, and the bonds also of Bivad, or Kananyahu, and Yehukanan, and Zakai, and Atzlahi, and the bonds of Bani, Meshalam, Maluk, Adayahu, Yeshu, Sheol, and Ramat, and the bonds of Pakat Moab, Adna, and Kalal, Benayahu, Maasayahu, Matanayahu, Betzael, Binui, and Menashe, and of the bonds of Karim, Eliezer, Yeshiyahu, Malkiyahu, Shemayahu, and Shimeon, Binyamin, Maluk, and Shemaryahu. Of the bonds of Kashum, Matanai, Mata, Zavad, Eliphelet, Yeremai, Manesha, and Shimei, and the bonds of Bani, Ma'adai, Amram, and Aduel, Beniyahu, Bedayah, Kelu, Hai, Vanya, Merayot, Eliashiv, Matanyahu, Matanai, and Yasu, or Yaasu, and Bani, and Benoi, and Shimei, and Shalem Yahu, and Natan, and Adayahu, Macnadbai, Shashai, and Sharai, Azarel, and Shalem Yahu, Shemaryahu, Shalom, and Amaryahu, and Yosef, of the bonds of Nevu, Ye'iel, Matayahu Zavad, Zevi, Zevina, Yido, and Yoel, and Benayahu. All these had taken strange women, and some of them had women by whom they had Yamudim children. The Debar of Nekemyahu, or Neshemyahu, Nekemyahu, Ban of Kag al Yah. And it came to pass in the month Kislev, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan, the place, that Kenani, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Yehuda, and I asked them concerning the Yahudim that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Yerushalayim. They said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Yerushalayim also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept, and mourned certain yoms, and fasted and pilawed before the Elohim of Shemai, and said, I beseech you, O YaHuAH, Eloheka of Shemaim, the great and terrible Al, that guards the covenant and shows Hassan for them that ahaba him, and guard his commandments. Let your ear now be attentive, and your eyes open, that you may hear the palah of your servant, which I palah before you now, Yom and Leah, for the Yamadim of Yasharah, your servants, and confess the transgression of the Yamadim of Yasharah, which we have transgressed against you. Both I and my father's bait have transgressed. We have dealt very corruptly against you, and have not guarded the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which you commanded your servant Moshe. Remember, I beseech you, the Debar, that you commanded your servant Moshe, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. But if ye turn unto me, and guard my commandments, and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost parts of the Shemaims, yet will I gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my Sham there. Now these are your servants and your people, whom you have redeemed by your great power and by your strong hand. O Elohim, I beseech you, let now your ear be attentive to the palah of your servant, and to the palah of your servants who desire to fear your Sham and prosper. I palah you, your servant, this Yom, and grant him Hassan in the sight of this man, for I the king's cupbearer, for I was the king's cupbearer. And it came to pass in the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, why is your countenance sad, seeing you are not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of lab of hearts. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lies waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, for what do you make request? So I applied to the Eloheka of Shemaim, And I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, that you would send me unto YaHuAH, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall your journey be? And when will you return? So it has pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, if it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come into YaHuAH. And a letter unto us Aviasaph, the guarder of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which appertained to the bait, and for the wall of the city, and for the bait that I shall enter into. And the king granted me according to the good hand of my Elohim upon me. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the king's letter. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. When Sanballat, and Coronim, and Tobiyahu, the servant of Ammonai, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly, that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the Yamadim of YaHuAH. So I came to Jerusalem, and was there 3 yoms. And I arose in the Leah, I and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what my Elohim in my lap to do at Jerusalem. Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon. And I went out by Leah by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon, well, and to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. Then I went on the gate of the fountain, and to the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then went I up in the Leah by the brook, and viewed the wall, and turned back, and entered by the gate of the valley, and so returned. And the rulers knew not whither I went, or what I did, neither had I as yet told it to the Yahudim, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest that did the work. Then said I unto them, ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lies waste. The gates thereof are burned with fire. Come and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Then I told them of the hand of my Elohim, which was good upon me, as also the king's debar, that he had spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work. But when Sanballat and the Coronim, and the Tobiyahu the servant, and the Ammoni, and the Geshem, and the Aravi heard it, they laughed us to scorn, and despised us, and said, what is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king? Then answered I them, and said unto them, the Alaeka of Shemaim, he will prosper us, therefore we his servants will arise and build, but ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. Then Eliashiv, the high priest, arose up with his brethren and priests, and they built the sheep gate. They sanctified it, and set up the doors, the dalet of it, even unto the tower of Meah. They sanctified it unto the tower of Cananyahu. And next unto him built the men of Jericho. And next to them and next to them built Zachar, the bond of Imri. But the fish gate did the bonds of Senah, Hassan, Hassanah, Hassanah build, who also laid the beams thereof, and set up the dalet thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. Next unto them repaired Mariot, the bond of YaHuAH, the bond of Hakotz, and next unto them repaired Meshulam, the bond of YaHuAH, the bond of Meshe Zavel, and next unto them repaired Sadak, the bond of Ba'ana. Next unto them the Tekoim repaired, but their nobles put not their necks to the work of their Alua. Moreover, the old gate repaired YaHuAH, YaHuAH, the bond of Pesach, or Paseak, and Meshulam, the bond of Besodeah. They laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors, the dalet thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. And next unto them repaired Malatiah, the Givoni, and the Yadon, the Meron, the Meron, the men of Givon, and of Mitzpah, unto the throne of the governor on this side, the river. Next unto him repaired Uzziel, the bond of Karhaphia, of the goldsmiths. Next unto him also repaired Hananiah, the bonds of one of the apothecaries, the doctor, and they fortified Jerusalem unto the broad wall. And next unto them repaired Raphaiah, and the bond of Kori, the ruler of the half part of Jerusalem. And next unto them repaired Yedaiah, the bond of Karumaf, even over against his house. And next unto him repaired Katush, the bond of Kashav Neah, Yahu, the bond of Karim, and Kashu, the bond of Pak at Moab. Repaired the other piece, and tower of the furnaces, and next unto him repaired Shalom, the bond of Lokesh, the ruler of the half part of Jerusalem. He and his daughters, the valley gate repaired Kanun, and the inhabitants of Zanoach, they built it and set up the dalet thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof, and 1,000 cubits on the wall unto the dung gate. But the dung gate repaired Yahu, the bond of Rekav, the ruler of the part of Beit Hakkerim. He built it and set up the dalet thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. But the gate of the fountain repaired Shalom, the bond of Kalkoze, the ruler of parts of Mitzpah. he built it and covered it, and set up the dalet thereof, the lots thereof, and the bars thereof, and at the wall of the pool of Shiloah by the king's garden, and unto the stairs that go down from the city of David. After him repaired Nehemiah, the bond of Azbuk, the ruler of the half part of Beit Sor, unto the place over against the sepulchres of David, and the pool that was made, and unto the bait of the mighty. After him repaired the Leviim, Rakum, the bond of Bani. Next unto him repaired Kashavyahu, the ruler of the part of Kela, in his part. After him repaired their brethren Bavai, the bond of Hanidad, the ruler of the half part of Caleb. And next to him repaired Ezra, the bond of Husha, the ruler of Mitzpah, another piece over against the going up to the armory at the turning of the wall. After him Baruch, the bond of Zakai, earnestly repaired the other piece from turning of the wall unto the dalet of the bait of Eliashiv, the high priest. After him repaired Meriot, the bond of Eliyahu, the bond of Hakot, another piece from the dalet of the bait of Eliashiv, even to the end of the bait of Eliashiv. And after him repaired the priests, the men of the plain. After him repaired Binyamin and Kashuv over against their bait. After him repaired Azaryahu, the bond of Maaseyahu, the bond of Kananyahu, by his bait. After him repaired Binoi, the bond of Kenadad, another piece from the bait of Azaryahu, unto the turning of the wall, even unto the corner. Palah, the bond of Uzai, over against the turning of the wall, and the tower which lies out from the king's high bait, that was by the court of the prison. After him Pedaiyahu, the bond of Parash. Moreover, the Natim dwelt in Ophel unto the place over against the water gate toward the east, and the towers that lie out. After them the Tekoim repaired another piece over against the great tower that lies out, even unto the wall of Ophel. From above the horse gate repaired the priests, everyone over against his bait. After them repaired Sadak, the bond of Immer, against his bait. After him repaired also Shemayahu, the bond of Shechanyahu, the guarder of the east gate. After him repaired Hananyahu, and the bond of Shelemyahu, and Karun, the sixth bond of Salaf, another piece after him repaired Meshulam, the bond of Berek YaHuAH, over against his chamber. After him repaired Malik YaHuAH, the goldsmith's son, his bond, unto the place of the Natin, and the merchants over against the gate, Mifkad, and to the going up of the corner, and between the going up of the corner unto the sheep gate, repaired the goldsmiths and the merchants. And this is book 4. But it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we built the wall, he was wroth, and took great indignation, and mocked the Yahudim, and he spoke before his brethren, his Aki, and the army of Shamrion, and said, what do these feeble Yahudim, will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in the Yom? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burned? Now Tovayahu, the Ammonite, was by him, and he said, even that which they build, if a fox goes up, he shall even break down their stone wall. Hear, O Elohim, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey in the Haaretz captivity, and cover not their iniquity, and let not their transgression be blotted out from before you, for they have provoked you to anger before the builders. So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, and for the people had a mind to work. But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tovayahu and the Aravim and the Ammonim and the Ashdonim heard that the walls of the Yerushalayim were made up, and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth, and conspired all of them together to come and fight against Yerushalayim, and to hinder it. Nevertheless, we made our palah unto our Elohim, and set a watch against them, Yom and Leah, because of them. And Yehuda said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. And our adversaries said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease. And it came to pass that when the Yahudim which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, from all places whence ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you. Therefore set I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places I even set the people after their families, their mishpachah, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and rose up, and said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, be ye not afraid of them. Remember YaHuAH, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your Aki, your bonds, and your daughters, your women, and your baits. And it came to pass, when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and Elohim had brought their counsel to naught, that we returned all of us to the wall, everyone unto his work. And it came to pass from that time forth that the half of my servants wrought in the work, and the other half of them held both spears and shields, and the bows, and the coats of armor, and the rulers were behind all the baits of Yehuda. They which built on the wall, and they that bore burdens with those that laded, everyone with one of his hands wrought in work, and with the other hand held a weapon. For the builders, everyone had his sword girded by his side, and so built. And he that sounded the shofar was by me. And I said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. In that place, therefore, ye hear the sound of the shofar, resort ye thither unto us. Our Elohim shall fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the Barak till the stars, the lights in the firmament appeared. Likewise, at the same time said I unto the people, let everyone with his servant lodged within Yerushalayim, that in the Leah that may be a guard to us labor on the Yom, so neither I nor my brethren, nor my servant, nor the men of the guard which follow me, none of us put off our clothes, saving that everyone put off for washing. Brother, would, would you like for me to continue to 5? Or could...
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes,
can hear
that
you,
is
Aki.
chapter what? You stop in chapter what?
To chapter 1?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Chapter 1, right? Chapter what?
Okay. This is Ezra Nehemiah or Nehemiah, chapter 5, first verse. Or is it book 5? I think this is book 5, first verse, the first chapter.
First chapter.
And there was a great cry of the people and their women against their brethren, the Yahudim, for there were that said, we our bonds and our daughters are many, and therefore we take up grain for them, that we may eat and live. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and baits, that we might buy grain because of the famine. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our Yamadim as their Yamadim, and lo, and we bring into bondage our bonds and our daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them. For other men have our lands and vineyards. And I was very angry when I heard their cry and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, Ye exact usury, every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them. And I said unto them, We after our ability have redeemed our brethren, the Yahudim, which were sold unto the heathen. And will ye even sell your brethren, or shall they be sold unto us? Then held they their shalom, their peace, and found nothing to answer. Also I said, it is not good that ye do ought ye not to walk in the fear of our Elohim, because of the reproach of the heathen of our enemies. I likewise, and my brethren, and my servants, might exact of them money and grain. I pelaw you, let us leave us this usury. Restore, I pelaw you to them, even this yom, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their baits, also the hundredth part of the money, and the grain, the wine, and the oil, that ye exact of them. Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as you say. Then I called the priests and took 7 oaths of them, and they should do according to this promise. Also I shook my lap and said, So Elohim, shake out every man from his bait and from his labor, that performs not this promise. Even thus be he shaken out and emptied. And all the assembly said, Amen, and praised YaHuAH. And people did according to this promise. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Yehuda, from the 20th year unto the 32nd year of Artaxshata, the king, that is 12 years, I and my brethren, my Aki, have not eaten the bread of the governor, but the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken of them bread and wine, beside 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bore rule over the people. But so did not I, because of the fear of Elohim. Yea, also I continued in the work of this wall, neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Yahudim and rulers beside those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and once in the 10 yoms store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Think upon me, my Elohim, for Torah, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. And that was the end of book 5, or chapter 5, I think. I can start 6. If we didn't exceed our time limit, I think I could start 6. And
Shalom, sister.
Shalom, Aki.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes. What chapter do you stop? What chapter is that?
This is Ezra, Nehemiah. This is book 6.
Book 6.
I believe.
Chapter
This
6.
is the first chapter.
Okay, the first chapter.
Yes, I
But-
just finished 5.
Okay, no problem. I think you can stop there today. Okay, you can stop there today. Oh wow, you really try today, because this is 1 hour 8 minutes. All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. Yes. Thank you,
Mama
sister.
YaHuAH.
Thank you. And this is the second part. The second part is to summarize what we read today on the Righteousness Radio. Yes, this is the second part. I hope you can join us and share to other people, because our sister just finished reading today. So the remaining one is to summarize. Yes, thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Shalom.
Much shalom.
As the word says, he could not ascend until the high priest offered the first fruits, wave of the sheaf. So he said, do not touch me there in the garden, 'cause he had not yet ascended as the Lamb without sin. Once dead and buried, 3 nights and days, then you were risen, the stone rolled away. The first fruit of the harvest, first fruit of the dead, fulfilling prophecy, just as the word says. Now the Son of Man sits at the right hand of his Father, the great I am. So bring your best offering, new wine, oil, and grain. The day of the wave sheep, Yom Kippur, a day to remember how the Son of Man came and descended to heaven as the first fruits offering. Once dead and buried, 3 nights and days, then you were risen, the stone rolled away. The first fruit of the harvest.
This is the second part for today reading, and this part, everybody, you must not miss it, because this is the time that we are going to summarize what our sister have read so far on today's program. Yes, what our sister have read so far for today's program. Yes, and today's reading we are going to start directly from chapter. We are just going to summarize everything very fast from chapter 1.
Bring your best offering, new wine, oil, and grain. The day of the wave
as the first fruits offering, once dead and buried, 3 nights and days, then you were risen, the stone rolled away. The first fruit of the harvest, first fruit of the dead, fulfilling prophecy, just as the word says. He could not ascend until the high priest offered.
Yes, the first chapter for today on the book of Ezra talks about the call to rebuild the house of YaHuAH.
He had not
That is the kingdom of YaHuAH, to rebuild it, to rebuild it, to rebuild it. YaHuAH stirred up the spirit, his people. YaHuAH gave them up and told them that to fulfill his purpose, to rebuild his kingdom, to rebuild his kingdom.
rolled away. First fruit of the harvest, first fruit of the dead.
To restore the house of YaHuAH, and that is what we are doing right now. That is what the first chapter talk about, to rebuild, the call to return and rebuild, and that is what we are doing right now.
The great I am. So bring your best offering, new wine, oil, grain.
That is the part that I want to use most today. The first chapter that talks about what? Return and rebuild. Rebuild.
And ascended to heaven as the first
And that is what YaHuAH is calling everybody for.
dead.
To come back to the right way, and to rebuild. What? To rebuild his kingdom back, to rebuild the truth and forsake the lie.
Fruit of the harvest, first fruit of the dead, fulfilling prophecy, just as the word says.
YaHuAH have been calling me for us to come back and to stand and rebuild it together, to rebuild the kingdom of YaHuAH together. Because when YaHuAH is ready to rebuild, to restore his word, to restore it, nothing can stop him. Because YaHuAH will move both heart and everybody. If YaHuAH want to use a president, if YaHuAH want to use a minister, if YaHuAH want to use a powerful person to restore his name, to restore his kingdom, no one can stop it. No one can stop it, because when times of YaHuAH, the times of YaHuAH, when it comes, nothing can stop it. Yeah, no captivity can hold its people, no captivity, no power can stop you from doing the word of YaHuAH, for doing it the will of YaHuAH. Nothing can stop you. That is what the first chapter is talking about. And that is what I want to use firstly today, because I just want to remove a point out of it. These people, they are in captivity. But when the time comes, YaHuAH wakes them up, and to restore it, YaHuAH makes sure that he change the heart of the king and all the powerful people, to let them go and rebuild, to restore his kingdom, to restore his house. When we are telling you that no matter what is going on, no matter what is happening, when the time comes for YaHuAH to restore his name, it's going to look like miracle. It will look like miracle. Yes, and let me tell you something, that is what is happening right now. Because what? YaHuAH is restoring his name, restoring his kingdom, restoring his name, the name of his people. That is why everybody are waking up about religion, the fake religion and the fake watching, keep going online, watching, and a lot of pastors, a lot of religion, all this religion have been exposed. Have been what? Exposed. Have been exposed. All this religion have been exposed. When YaHuAH is ready to restore his kingdom, when YaHuAH is ready to restore his word, who is that person that will stop him? Who is that person that can say no to him? Who are you? Who am I to say no? Yes, because when YaHuAH is ready, YaHuAH can use anybody. I tell you, both the king, president, a whole nation for his purpose. YaHuAH can use anybody at any time for his purpose. And that is what is happening right now. We keep shouting. That is why the righteousness schedule is here for the call of what? For the call of the restoration. The call for restoration for the kingdom of YaHuAH. And what Babylon took, what all these people took away, what this religion took away, YaHuAH want to restore it. That is why the righteousness schedule is here to restore it back. Yes, to restore it back. And that chapter 2 talks about the name of the people to show what that YaHuAH has never and ever forget about anybody. Even if it looks like there is no one for your help, there is no one to help you, or have YaHuAH forget me, YaHuAH will never forget you. YaHuAH will what? Will never forget you. YaHuAH can remember you very, very clearly, very, very well. YaHuAH can remember you. And that chapter 3 talks about the restoration of the altar and the foundation. The foundation. Ah, yes. Because everything has been spoiled from the foundation. All what is happening to this world is from the foundation. Because people that built everything, they have changed the foundation, they have built their own on it. That is why we have to dismantle it and rebuild it back. That is why we are here, the righteousness, calling for the restoration of the kingdom of YaHuAH, of the word of YaHuAH, not for this worldly thing or anything. The restoration of the name of the kingdom of YaHuAH, of the word of the name of YaHuAH, calling for restoration.
Bring your best offering, new wine, oil, and grain. The day of the week.
And that chapter 4 talks about what? Talks about the enemy of Judah and Benjamin. They offered to help, to rebuild, but their intention were false. They are ready to destroy what they are doing. And that is where I'm going to stop for today. I want you to know something carefully. I want you to know something. Sometimes you look at some people like someone that want to restore, that is ready. But what is about their intention? Do you think that all this religion that gives you everything, that says to you, oh, this is from the Most High, do you know their intention? When we keep telling you that religion, all this Babylon religion, their intention is to wipe away the name of the Most High, to hide the name, the true identity for us, to lead everybody astray. That chapter 4 talks about it, about the enemy come together and become like a friend. That is why anytime when you are going in the path of the Most High YaHuAH, there is nothing like what? Like there is nothing like going back. they can dismantle what they are building, so that they can destroy it. That is why we used to tell you that you can never be a sheep and be a friend with a wolf. You can't stay with in the way of YaHuAH, calling the name of YaHuAH, and still go to your friends or people where they are calling the name of Jesus and you join them. No, you have to choose. You can't be a sheep and be a friend with a fox. You can't be a sheep and be a friend with lions. Don't you know that any friend you be is going to destroy you one day, because that is what is going to be in his intention, that this is something for me. I have to eat this. You are just like a mule. You can't be a friend. No, you can't be a friend. You can't be a sheep and be a friend with lions. You can't be a friend with fox. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. You have to stay on your own way. Choose your own way. Stand on your own way. You can't choose to be a friend with a fox, because your journey is different. Your journey is different. Your journey is different. Oh, I'm using this to say shalom to everybody that has the privilege to listen to us today on the Righteousness Radio and on YaHuAH is the Righteousness TV. And thanks to our guest today, Sister Le William. Yes, and she's going to be here for the continuation by next program on the Righteousness Radio again. That is on Sunday. And don't forget, our brother will be here tomorrow. Brother Shizak will be here tomorrow on the Righteousness Radio. Brother Shizak from Jah Radio will be here tomorrow on the Righteousness Radio with the same time zone. That is 7:30 West African time and 1:30 EST and 12:30 Central time, because the time has changed. That is plus 1 hour again. Yes, plus 1 hour again. That is why it's 1:30 EST and 12:30 Central time. But we are going to be here tomorrow, and I'm using this to say shalom to everybody with my message, with my last message for you. You can be a sheep and be friends with what? With false. You can't stand between. You can't stand between. You have to choose. You have to do what? You have to choose wisely. You have to choose what? Wisely. Choose wisely before the time is too late. Choose wisely before the time is too late. I'm using to say shalom to you. See you tomorrow. I pray may YaHuAH everybody strengthen us, and so that we can keep doing his will. That is why we are here on the Righteousness Radio. You can join us by proclaiming the word of YaHuAH. By sharing it, you can join us. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. Yada YaHuAH, yada YaHuAH, yada YaHuAH. All praise to the Most High YaHuAH. Yada YaHuAH. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Best offering, new wine, oil, and grain. The day of the wave sheaf
and ascended to heaven as the first fruits offering.